Good afternoon, good evening to all of our CFC Arts family, friends, and supporters. Hope you are having a good Tuesday. I'm so excited to come live to you this evening to talk about a new initiative that CFC Arts has started. So we have done all that we can to help you stay creative and connected during this time through virtual concert series, workshops and classes and lessons, playwriting and song challenges, music therapy, and so much more. And after we did 62 nights of our virtual concert series, our theater program graciously said, let's keep doing this and have a virtual cabaret series. And so we are launching that this coming week, and we will have one every single week. What's so beautiful and special about this is that we're bringing to you professional artists from their homes, and 50% of the ticket sales go right back to the artist. So it's our way of bringing the arts to you, but also to help local artists. So we're super excited about this initiative. And today we're going to talk to our very first guest for our concerts, and that is the group Resolve. Wonderful people, extremely talented, and we're so lucky to have them at CFC Arts. Let me tell you a little bit about this group. So Resolve is a vocal jazz quartet based out of Central Florida, inspired by legendary vocal groups such as Manhattan Transfer and the New York Voices. These four young vocalists bring a flair and musicality to the stage that is all their own. A contemporary group with a clean and classic sound, Resolve builds on timeless pieces of music from all genres and works them into a vocal jazz style. Their video releases have generated thousands of views across various platforms. They've been honored to sing with artists and friends of mine, I love these people, Tiffany Coburn and Michelle Mayo, and perform original arrangements by Sam Robson, Eric Winger, and their very own Christopher. Diversity and a shared passion for music is what has brought these four vocalists together, and each member of Resolve offers a unique musical perspective which has helped shape not only the song selections, but the group's overall tone as well. When they're not creating music as Resolve, they're spending their time performing for the Walt Disney Company. Collectively, they can be seen performing at various stages throughout Walt Disney World, including the Dapper Dans, Finding Nemo the Musical, and the Voices of Liberty. So we are so happy to have these four amazing young vocalists. Welcome, Resolve.
Yay!
Oh, did I do okay in your intro?
Beautiful job.
Okay, awesome. Well, we are so thrilled that you guys are our very first virtual cabaret series. Tickets are selling like crazy, which shows how much people love and support you. But let's take a moment and get to know you. So, Christopher, we'll start with you. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing when you're not singing with Resolve.
So, my name is Christopher Keogh. I'm originally from Harris County, Georgia. I grew up singing in church and stuff, and then I did high school choir my senior year, and then just on a whim, after doing Candlelight, I decided to audition for the Voices of Liberty in Atlanta, Georgia. And how it happened, I have no clue, but I'm here. And so they relocated me here to Orlando, Florida. I've been here ever since, and that job has allowed me to meet these four individuals. I've gone on to sing with the Dapper Dans. I sing at Universal Studios with the Ragtime Gals and Sing It with Entertainment Central, Shalise and Jeremy James. And then I sing with the Disney Event Group. I've gotten to do some recording sessions around town and just living the dream, you know?
Living the dream. Joshua?
I'm Joshua. I was born and raised in Florida, in Brooksville, Florida, small town just about northwest of Orlando. I grew up in a very musical family and kind of just was involved in music ever since I was a kid. Then I went on to study vocal performance at Southeastern University in Lakeland. And after graduation, I auditioned for Voices of Liberty Candlelight for the 2016 cast. And then after that, I kind of did a lot of shows at Disney, and then I ended up being full-time at Finding Nemo the Musical as Crush and as Blow. So I also do voices during the year as well.
Joshua, I have heard you crush it as Crush many times.
Yes.
Every time you do it, I'm like, how does that even happen? Like, where does that come from? It's amazing. And I really like all four of you, but Joshua, I have to say your name is probably the best.
Oh, boo.
I know. Ashley?
Hi, I'm Ashley Rosa. I'm originally from Bayamon, Puerto Rico. I actually grew up in Puerto Rico until I was 14 years old, and my family moved to Orlando, Florida. We've been here ever since. It's coming up on 10 years that my family and I both moved here. I got very involved in theater and chorus. Well, I did my last 3 years of high school here in the States. And before that, I always sang at church. I was part of the kids ministry and was very involved in the singing and the worship ministries at my churches. And the opportunities that I had here in high school just broadened my desire to be part of the arts in some way, shape, or form. I was able to do candlelight for 3 years, those same 3 years in high school as part of the high school choir, and it was just so special to me that when I got the chance to be a voice of liberty for the same show 2 years in a row as of now, it was just a complete dream come true. I also am part of the gospel choir over at Epcot during the holidays as well, called Joyful. This will have been my 3rd year, and I just absolutely love being part of the Central Florida community of arts here. It's just so beautiful and it's incredible. It's such a dream come true.
That is so beautifully put. Nice job, Ellie.
Hello, my name is Elodie Germain. I am originally from Port-au-Prince, Haiti. I grew up in southern and central Africa, so Botswana, South Africa, Rwanda, and then I went to high school in Rhode Island. I started learning about a cappella and theater up in Rhode Island, and I kind of wanted to continue that learning, so I went to college. I went to Rollins College, which is where I met Ashley, and I was a music major, vocal performance, and if they had a songwriting minor, that's what I would have, because I took every class that they offered, and songwriting has kind of been my heart. But post-college, I have been singing at Walt Disney World as well. I sing with the Voices of Liberty, and I've sung with the Candlelight Processional as well. And I think that's kind of one of the main things that's brought us together is the fact that we all love a cappella music so much, and it's something that's kind of a core learning of ours when we learned how to sing. And so, yes, I'm trying to think what else. I'm a songwriter is kind of the main thing for me.
I did not know that. That's really cool. Would you say that's
Really great.
your passion is writing songs? That's like the main thing?
Yes, absolutely. I'm working on an EP right now.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Well, let us know when it comes out so we can promote it for you.
absolutely.
So, Elodie, let's start with you. That's a good segue. Tell us how this group met, and then why you chose the name Resolve, and how you came to choosing that.
Okay, so we all met kind of in different kind of avenues. Ashley and I went to college together. I know Josh and Chris met at an audition, Lion King audition. I met Chris through Candlelight, and we were all friends separately, and one night we came together. We were actually we were in this very apartment, actually, and we were hanging out, and Chris was like, if anybody knows Chris, he loves to teach songs and teach tags and teach little bits of songs. So he was like, let's sing this New York Voices tag that I transcribed, and we're like, okay. And I mean, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I had to work the next day, so I was like, please God, let us just finish this. So we recorded it, and we had such a good time singing it together, and we got a pretty great response from our community about it, that we're like, let's try and make this happen. Let's see if we can make Resolve a thing. And at the time, we didn't have the name Resolve. That actually came later on through group texts and us kind of discussing what it is that we wanted to represent. And the name Resolve kind of has a double meaning. It is musical, resolve, as in to resolve a chord, to kind of bring it back to home. And resolve is a word that means, perseverance. It's us continuing to push forward. And so we loved that word, so we just kind of adopted it.
I love that. So, Ashley, I've seen all of you, and many of your fans have seen all of you perform multiple genres of music, right? And maybe in different settings, different shows. So why vocal jazz? Why the acapella and vocal jazz? Like, why did you guys choose to devote your time to this as your hobby?
Yeah, I think that the experience that we have with acapella is funded, or it comes from vocal jazz. So we are all well versed in with the Voices of Liberty. We have that experience, and they kind of come from that. But we wanted to add more to that. And we have groups that, like you mentioned at the beginning in our bio, that we look up to and we absolutely adore. And we kind of begin to, when we started the group, we began to emulate their sound, but then we kept adding more and more of our style and our genres of pop, of gospel, of contemporary Christian, and all of those things kind of just merged together. So we do still consider it vocal jazz, but it's just our own little twist to it. So, you know, I would say that it's just resolved sound. Like it kind of feels like our very own genre, though most of the music that we do perform are jazz standards or, you know, things like that. I think that the reason we decided to do that was because we loved doing it. We loved the arrangements that we had began to try out, sing with, and we really loved the sound that was coming from those arrangements. So I think it's more a love of the spontaneity that comes with jazz. I think jazz is very free. I think that it's open to lots of things, just lots of things when it comes to music. It's not really restricted, and there's a lot of freedom when it comes to jazz. And I think that's exactly how we would describe our group. We like to be very free. We like to take ideas from certain things and then just twist them into our own and keep things very free. Yeah.
See, I think you should totally come up with your own genre name and be the pioneer. Be like Resolve, right? That would be awesome. So Joshua, this is kind of a two-part question for you. What is your favorite song to perform with Resolve? And then secondly, what is your fans' favorite song to hear Resolve perform?
We know that.
Well, the fans' favorite is easier to answer. I would say the fan favorite is probably That Nightingale Sang in Berkeley Square.
Absolutely.
That song has been a journey for us. When we first learned it 2-3 years ago now, it was just very tough.
Horrible.
It was very, very tough. And the chords are very dissonant, and it's very hard to tune. And we really had to figure it out. And so listening to like our first video when we recorded that song 3 years ago, and then hearing how we sing it now is like so different. And that's probably the one song that we get probably the most like attention about, and the most like hysteria about is when we sing that song. Everybody talks about Nightingale. Everybody talks about Nightingale. It's changed so many times because we keep adding new songs, and I'm like, oh, this is my favorite song now.
We don't know this. So
So for a minute, it was On a Clear Day, but then we learned In My Life, which is it's actually a Beatles song, but it was arranged by the New York Voices, and it's a vocal jazz chart that we do, and that has become my favorite. So I'll stick with that.
Stick with that.
I'm gonna stick with that.
Good
I
answer.
know that had to be a hard choice. You handled that really well, Joshua. Okay, so Christopher, I think I saved the hardest question for you.
That's great.
Okay. So each of you brings something special and unique to make the group Resolve, right? Like pull one of you away and you're no longer Resolve. So Christopher, what would you say about your group and each person in your group? What did they bring special and unique to the group?
Oh, not looking at me. Oh, this is gonna make me emotional because I've been smiling the whole time just because I'm very proud of this group of individuals and just like how well we work together and how far we've come, because it wasn't always great and pretty at times. We never had like huge falling outs, but we don't always see eye to eye. And we have learned a lot about how to communicate as individuals in not only this group, but also our business and personal lives outside. And this group has helped me grow to communicate with almost everyone in my life. So let's see what we bring to the table. I'll go from the end down. So Elodie brings a polish to the group, and everyone brings their own thing that they specifically like to focus on to make us better as musicians. Elodie is very lyric driven, and she will make sure that we sing for the message to the point where now we individually will say it because Elodie has taught that to us. She also teaches us to be kind, and she has a sweet spirit, and it really just lights up the room. And when we get off track, she's like, "Come on, guys!" But so we listen, Josh. We act a fool in our rehearsals, like, cackling, screaming, dying laughing, and then we have to be like, "We have an hour left in rehearsal, and we have 3 songs. Let's learn."
She has videos of all the time.
Blackmail.
We've been like,
Oh, I bet.
complete fool in rehearsal. She just sits there and records it when it's happening, and then she'll send it to us later.
For further enjoyment.
Yeah.
It's just for memory's sake, because
There we go.
this is, environments that we don't always get to have.
Right.
We don't always get to rehearse this way and laugh together this way. So I do like to record them just to just to keep it. I keep it for myself. I don't know if they know, but I watch them and I miss them. So.
But my purpose in saying that was we will just be off the rails, and she'll try not to laugh, but she finds it funny. But she just brings a lighthearted nature, but also a seriousness about the music. And she has even more so lately been mainly taking initiative and getting things done, because in the beginning I had a problem of wanting to do everything, doing everything, but being super stressed out. And they were like, "Let us do stuff we can." And it wasn't that I didn't trust them; it was just that I'm weird. So they have taught me how to be a better leader, because they're leaders in their own right, and they have shown me a lot about that. Ashley's very honest, and Ashley feels like my family.
We're cousins.
Literally like brother and sister in sweat. But she will not, if it's something that she doesn't feel like it's worth it, she will let it go. But if it's something that she believes in, and we will talk about it. And we've had to agree to disagree, but most of the time we're able to reach a resolution. And Ashley is one to make sure that things are settled, things are done, things are finalized. And she wants to know the details to make sure that she can hold herself responsible if things go awry. So I like her personal responsibility. I like her attention to the tuning, and she's our leader, and she's grown as a vocalist since from the very beginning. She sings more like a soloist, because we're not a soloist and background singers, but we try to think of ourselves as 4 soloists with a group sound, which is something that we've learned from our mentors. So I really appreciate her attention to detail, her honesty with me, her honesty with everyone else, and her accountability. Joshua, I appreciate Joshua's genuine excitement about things, and it's something that he'll sometimes try to hide at first, and he won't always show the big smile on his face, but
It literally just happened. It literally just happened. He was looking, "What's he gonna say?" And then when you said something nice, he was like, "I like it."
We try to be our own hype men and women,
Yes.
because we absolutely drag ourselves when something goes wrong. We'll be like, "That was trash." Let's scratch that. We hold ourselves to such a height of excellence that it almost feels like we'll never be there, but we've learned to celebrate each other.
Yeah.
And we'll every once in a while we'll stick our hand out or raise our hand up to be you saying, give an acknowledgement, words of affirmation. But Josh, he'll type it in, and then he'll give you a little smirk to let you know that he appreciates that. Yeah. But also he has grown musically, and we're doing a new chart now, which I think is my favorite. He has a solo on it.
Yes.
And he's just grown to maybe not really know if this was something that he always wanted to do. He always wanted to be a part of the group, but we didn't really know how serious it was. But to know that he wants to be in this with us, because he at one point was the busiest of all of us. Yeah. And so it's hard to take that free time out of your life and come do it with us, and we could not be more thankful to have him here with us, and his incredible voice, because everyone's irreplaceable. So
I love that. So, guys, during this pandemic, it was it was a time of isolation and quarantine, and so many people turned to the arts, right? Whether it was music in our homes or dance or movies, or maybe the arts are so important, and it inspired a lot of us to keep going, right? So this concert, although virtually, will be so beautiful for people who listen. And so my final question to each one of you is, what do you hope people will take away from this night with Resolve?
I'll start? Okay. I really hope that people feel uplifted. I know that when you're kind of stuck in your house and kind of seeing the same things over and over again. I know for me, I've had the same 10 playlists with the same 50 songs, and I just get tired and I don't want to hear anything. And live music is something that I miss so much, and singing with other people is something I miss so much. I'm very fortunate that I do get to do that every once in a while with these beautiful people, but I hope that this concert just lifts them up and like it gets them excited to keep pushing for the arts and gets them excited for when we do get back together. I pray that they are excited to come to a concert and listen to the live music the way that they've never listened to it before. Yeah.
For me, I would have to say I pray, if not for anything else, that this concert brings people hope. I think it's been such dark times, and if it weren't for the arts for me, I wouldn't be where I am today. And when we go through things like we're going through right now, it's not just me, obviously, it's the entire world. But music has this ability to unite people. It doesn't matter where they're from. It doesn't matter if they speak the language. I mean, I experienced it firsthand, not knowing the language when I first moved here. But I had, music. I had the arts, and I was able to be involved and be a part of something just by, joining in, learning the music, and living in that moment. And I pray for nothing other than hope, that it brings people hope and reminds people that we will get through this, and that we will be together once again, and we'll get to love on each other in person and share this love for music together once again.
I hope that this concert brings people joy. I think we have so much fun singing together, and we have so much fun being together because not only are we in this group, but we're also very close friends.
Yeah.
And so I hope that people feel that as we sing, because I know that everybody's already said it, but we're on a very tough time, and people have good days and we have bad days, and I hope that we bring people joy, because singing and music makes people happy.
Yeah.
I hope that this concert inspires drive and new purpose, because this time is dark, but it also is a gift, because this has personally allowed me to re-evaluate my priorities, see what baskets exactly my eggs are in, and what baskets deserve my eggs, and just to know that what am I not doing now that I could be doing to better myself, to get myself closer to where I see. And maybe I don't see the end of the road, but I definitely see a little down the road. No one, I believe, is just completely stuck. There's something in your life that you want to do, that you want to achieve, that you could work the slightest bit. And the thing is, once you go to turn the handle of the door and open it, then you can see your path. You don't always see it, but you have to take the first step. So I hope that no matter how we sound, I hope we sound good. But I don't think that anyone can say that it doesn't look like we're not enjoying ourselves. This is what we love to do, and we're actively working on bettering ourselves. And we're definitely appreciative of this opportunity, because anything that we receive is directly going toward our next goal of recording a new album. So we want to make sure, are we being smart? Are we being safe? Have we all been distanced enough to be together safely?
Yeah.
You also worry about optics and what will people think? But as long as we feel in our hearts that we've done what is right and are keeping each other safe, because I'm going to want to keep anyone safe, it's going to be my family and these guys, you know. So I just think, I hope people find inspiration to continue to do that thing that you felt like 2020 halted. And I'm doing that in my own life, not just here, but in my other areas and avenues that I want to explore. So that's my hope.
Well, I have no doubt that this concert will be uplifting and hopeful and inspirational and absolute joy to every single person who tunes in. So Christopher, Joshua, Ashley, and Ellie, thank you for having this conversation with me, and thank you for doing this concert on Thursday night.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
So listeners, if you tune into this interview, please share it and help us get the word out and buy your ticket. Remember, 50% goes back to Resolve to help them with their next album. And buy your ticket at cfcarts.com/virtual cabaret series. And we'll see you on Thursday night. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.